Listen, 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 listen here. Okay. I'm responding to a video of the young lady who's on the screen, who's on the thumbnail. She was speaking on culture, lineage, and identity. And to be fair, I think she's FBA. She sounded FBA. She was cooking. I'm going to let y'all hear it. You going to hear it. Stick around. I got you. I'm going to play it. She was frying and fricasseeing, but she was circling the truth. She was getting real close. She was tiptoeing and tap dancing, but she didn't go all the way there. And see, that's the problem. That's the problem, people. This is how dilution happens. We get right to the door of the truth. Then somebody leaves it just cracked open like Cracker Barrel instead of kicking it wide open, waving the fofo. She talked about acceptance. She talked about unity. She talked about how we supported people. And of course, that's true. We're one of the most supportive and loving people ever. And we did support. Past tense. We always supported. But see, we need to keep it tight and keep it stomped down, FBA. She mentions accepting Obama. No, we was bamboozled by the appearance of representation. That man is not FBA. His lineage is Kenyan through his father. That does not make him anywhere close, any shape or form, foundational Black American, and that's period, point blank. See, it was the look of representation, the symbolism of it. And see, symbolism has been pacifying us for decades. See, that's the part she got close to, but didn't want to commit to. She didn't want to say it. She didn't want to kick in the door. She didn't want to go all the way through. And that matters. And that matters. Because once you don't speak clearly, the narrative starts to blur. People start thinking proximity equals lineage. Skin color starts getting confused with ancestry. And that's how the culture starts getting diluted. Now, let's be clear so nobody tries to twist this. Every Black immigrant is not a tether. Woo. I know that went over some of y'all's heads. Let me say it again. Every Black immigrant is not a tether. We don't speak in absolutes, right? That's not what makes somebody a tether. A tether is defined by behavior. It's when you try to insert yourself into FBA issues. When you try to speak on FBA lineage. When you try to claim the blood, sweat, and tears of FBA struggles. Or when you try to take over said FBA culture. That, and that alone is what makes you a tether. You don't become FBA because you're Black. It's not a sorority. It's not a fraternity. You don't become FBA because you moved here. You don't become FBA because you like the culture. Lineage is lineage. Okay, geniuses? And this is where folks get very uncomfortable. Because what it is we've always been inclusive. Everybody gets an invite. You get an invite. You get an invite. You get an invite to the cookout. We're too inclusive. We let everyone in. Even skin folk that aren't kinfolk. And now we got people speaking on things that don't concern them just because they look like us. But looking like us is not being us. That's why Juneteenth gets hijacked. That's why our holidays get blended. That's why our culture keeps getting rebranded, because we keep letting people speak on things that come from a lineage they don't belong to. And shout out to the young lady in the video. She meant well. She was close, but close ain't on code. It's just not. It's just not. We're not blaming all immigrants. We're not speaking absolutes. But when you start inserting yourself into FBA conversations, FBA history, FBA lineage, reparations, FBA benefits, that's when the line gets drawn. That's when you become a tether. And that's exactly what people don't like hearing. Let's be clear. We don't all gotta black the same. But if you're FBA, you gotta be on code. Because if we don't protect what's ours, it gets taken. It gets repackaged. It gets diluted. And then we wake up one day and the story ain't ours no more. That's why we always must speak up now and forever. Not to divide, but to define. And I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being off code. And I'm gonna let her go ahead and fry and fricassee. But I first have to handle just a little tiny bit of business. Just a little bit. Fair use poop tube. Because you know how you try to do. You try to knock us out the box. Now go ahead and let the young lady cook. And make sure y'all drop a comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the young lady. Did she get close? Did she knock it out the park for you? Was she not even cooking? Did you think that it was unseasoned? Go ahead and let me know. Did she put raisins in the potato salad?
So on the 100th year anniversary of Black History Month, which was originally, Negro History Week, there's what I asked for war. Black Americans just requested that, this celebration has always been about learning our history, platforming our history. Anybody can come and celebrate. Just make sure you center us in that. The response has been intense. It's been, oh, Black Americans think they're the only Black people to exist. Black Americans think everything's about them. Oh, now so we can't celebrate. That's not what was said. And mind you, when have Black Americans not included everybody in the celebration? Barack Obama is not ethnically a Black American. His roots are not in this country. He is Kenyan ethnically. However, and this is how I know y'all don't actually talk to Black American people or actually don't know Black American people. You walk into any Black grandma house, you're going to see a picture of Martin Luther King, and right next to Martin Luther King, you're going to see a picture of Barack Obama. Or any auntie, Black American auntie. And yeah, even grandma, they're going to have a Barack Obama shirt. We have always included other people in our history. Even Kamala Harris, she is half Caribbean. She is not ethnically a Black American. Yet we still celebrate her all the same. So to come on here and say we only celebrate us is so disingenuous. when we're just saying center us. There's so many people across the diaspora that have directly helped Black Americans, and it's worth being celebrated. People stay saying we don't have culture, but this month is something that we've been doing culturally for 100 years. This is your chance to learn, and you're not wanting to do it. You're taking it as an attack when we say center us in something that we've been doing for 100 years. This also happened on Juneteenth. There were people coming on here and saying that we think this is our holiday and everybody should be able to do what they want with it. You can come and celebrate Juneteenth without making about anything other than Black Americans. That's what we're saying. And again, this administration in this country is actively banning Black American history, actively banning it. So why is it an attack when we say, hey, we really need to center us in our celebrations that we created to platform us, to educate ourselves on us? Well, why is that an attack? And the fact there's no grace to Black Americans when you can see all around why Black Americans might have to be a little more strict about preserving our culture and our history. So yes, we're going to be like, hey, you can't do that. That's not the truth, and this is the truth. And that's not an attack, and that's not a call for war when we correct people. This is the last thing I'm going to say. In America, everybody is able to have their own Independence Days, and they celebrate it without the interference or without Black Americans coming in and saying, like, no, this needs to be about us. Like, are we not Black too? Everybody has their own history months, but only Black American History Month is the one that everybody has a problem with. So let me just leave you with this. This is Black History Month, and like I said, this is your chance to learn. Right now, there's an influx of Black American history that is posted online for you to learn, and you'll see the history, and you'll see why this discourse is very problematic towards Black Americans. So I implore everybody, since you want to celebrate so bad, and we have always invited you to, but especially now, actually learn about what you're saying. Actually learn about why it's so problematic that you have a